We're going to talk about the impending debut of super prospect Wander Franco on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. As always, make sure follow us and stream us on Spotify. Today is Monday, June 21st. I am Chris Towers, joined by Scott White. And the big news today, Wander Franco is being called up. We've been waiting for it since the start of the season. The best prospect in baseball, arguably the top prospect in the minors to stash for fantasy since the start of the season, according to Mark Tropkin, who covers the Rays for the Tampa Bay Times. Wander Franco has been told by the Rays he's being called up and will join them Tuesday when they open their series against the Red Sox. This comes on the heels of the Rays losing 6 in a row and falling a half game behind the Red Sox in the AL East. Wander Franco is 20 years old, was hitting .315 with 7 home runs and 11 doubles, 6 triples, 5 steals, a .954 OPS at AAA. Scott, what are our expectations for Wander Franco as he gets ready to make his major league debut?
Well, our expectations for minor leaguers, top prospects getting the call to the majors has kind of gotten warped over the past couple of years because there have been so many more misses than hits.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to hit, you'd think it'd be somebody like this. This is as high end as it gets for prospects. And the plate discipline was always good during his time in the minors, making a lot of contact, no matter what caliber of pitcher he was facing. But he's only 20 years old, and yeah, these transitions have proven to be more difficult in recent history. So absolutely, he needs to be rostered. Maybe he'll deliver a top 5 outcome for a shortstop, but I don't know that I would put him in my starting lineup right away unless I was just totally slumming it at shortstop up until now.
Well, I was slumming it at middle infield, so I am starting him in at least one of my leagues. He's 78% rostered on CBS, so he's not out there in too many leagues. But if he is, how much of your fab would you be willing to drop on Wander Franco to make sure you get him on your team?
So, I didn't. Maybe I sounded a little too negative before, but just to put it in perspective, at least half of what I have left. Because at the same time, I mean, what are the chances another player with this kind of upside emerges on waivers rest of season? So probably 50%, 75% of what I have left.
How high are you moving him in your shortstop rankings?
Probably around 15th, 16th, right around, right about now. So, kind of up around where like Dansby Swanson is, maybe a little ahead of him.
Would you drop Dansby Swanson for him then?
I dropped Dansby Swanson. I dropped like Brandon Crawford. Yeah, I mean, it's not many leagues where Franco's still out there, but they're going to be pretty shallow.
Yeah,
where he is. So yeah, yeah.
All right, let's talk about a couple of performances from over the weekend that you wanted to highlight. We'll start with one pitching performance from Shane McClanahan of the Rays. What can you tell us about this performance?
So Shane McClanahan had 17 swinging strikes, which he's been getting plenty of those. But really what stood out is he threw more than 80 pitches for the second straight start. He went 6 innings for the first time. He's slowly been getting stretched out to a more typical starter's workload, and the Rays are going to need that from him with Tyler Glass now down for the count. If McClanahan qualified, he had enough innings to qualify. If he did, he would be second only to Jacob deGrom in terms of swinging strike rate. So that's exciting to think about. Is as his workload goes up here, I think he needs to be rostered in a lot more leagues than he is.
All right. Tell me about Adam Duvall, who had a big weekend for the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, back-to-back 2-homer games over the weekend. He's at 16 home runs now for the season, which is as many as he hit last year in the shortened season. And a similar number of games, too. So maintaining that power pace from a year ago, but what really stands out, he entered Sunday leading the NL in RBI. That's 19 more RBI than he had last year. So I don't know if he can sustain that pace, but I do think he is legitimately one of the better sources of power in baseball right now. Kind of all or nothing. I don't know that in points leagues I'm not excited about rostering him, but like a 5 outfielder roto league probably needs to be rostered in all of those and try to start him through thick and thin because he's going to provide you those power numbers.
All right, let's talk about some injured players who we're not sure about their status for this coming week. Jacob deGrom will make his start on Monday after overcoming his latest injury scare. Are you starting him in all leagues in a 2-start week?
Yes.
Fernando Tatis exited Saturday's game after appearing to injure his left shoulder. That's the one that's been an issue for him all season. You starting him with confidence this week?
Yeah, the Padres sound confident, so I am too.
All right, Jose Ramirez dealing with a left foot contusion after he took a hit by pitch on that foot. He did pinch hit Sunday. Are you starting him?
I would also start him, yes.
Max Scherzer planning to start on Tuesday against the Phillies. Get him in your lineup after he threw a 40-pitch bullpen session?
Yeah. Lines up for 2 starts if he goes Tuesday. And it's Scherzer. Right. You know he's going to go deep.
I think I have one you may not start. Cody Bellinger and Max Muncy are expected to be activated from the IL either Tuesday or Wednesday. Would you start both of them?
Muncy, I probably would. He's eligible at more positions, and he's actually been good when he's been healthy this year. Bellinger, it's more questionable. It would depend what else I'd have, but I'd lean no on Bellinger.
All right. Adalberto Mondesi left Sunday's game with a side injury. He was just coming back from an oblique. Nelson Cruz left Sunday's game with neck tightness. And Tony Gonsolin is dealing with shoulder soreness as he worked his way back from the IL. I would lean towards sitting all of those guys. I don't know how you feel, Scott.
Yeah, I would feel the same way. Gonsolin's velocity was down in that start Sunday, and it sounds like they're going to be careful with him, continue to be careful with him going forward.
All right. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. If you enjoyed the pod, please leave a 5-star review on Apple. We'll see you next time.